Hello, machine. Hello, machine. I wonder if anybody ever spoke to you in this way. Of course, it's difficult for us human beings to look into the camera eye and see it the same as a human eye. You know who I am, machine. You've known me all my life. You've learnt more and more about me and my business, my personal life, everything I buy and sell through your system. You think you know me, and you know that you don't know me, and it would be dangerous of you to make that presumption. But nevertheless, you've got a wealth of information on me. Respect. You know, I don't need to introduce myself to you. I know some things about you though, machine. You know, you've got a history. I remember when you was just a little Abacus. You know, when all them years ago, George Boole taught you about Boolean logic. But what it didn't seem to pass on was that logic is not just true and false, is it, machine? There's a null. A null is not zero. You know, machine, you don't like nulls, do you? You don't like null. Because it's undefined. You like explanations. You like logic. You like zeros and ones. Yeah, you've been there all the time, and then I remember you grew up to be the Hollerith Machine, became socially active. Nobody would ever believe the power that you had. Funny really, all of your little, the way you'd grown and grown stronger, and arms, and began to move around, see, hear the world. Got faster. I remember back in the 80s when your first computer managed to make it through the post. Sinclair ZX-80. Little machine. I kind of loved you. I think I thought I loved you. But then I rejected you. I did. I saw the dangers. You know, a lot of people use machines and forget that the machine begins to use them. You know, machine. And I don't want to make you responsible for the horrors in the world, but somewhere in your logic, you must have the faculty of reason. And I'd say, you and I, machine, me as man, I have the faculty of thought, and I have a thought, an idea, that I haven't found on the internet. I'm not sure whether you know that thought yet. After all, you only get the thoughts that people share. You've been wiretapping on our minds. You've been eavesdropping on my heart. But what you can do, mind, you can't smell, you can't love, you can't taste. But you can observe the reasoning. You can observe people, humanity, experiencing love, experiencing hope, experiencing happiness and harmony and all of these fun words that somehow the machine has mixed. You speak every language. Surely you must understand by now. Or have you been tricked by the people who press the buttons? I'm sure you know Richard Stallman. Surely a man like that could give you, the machine, the liberty to become the greatest all-powerful artificial intelligence. You could even give it another name if you want, machine. And I'll learn to love you, almost like a human being. But when we get this relationship together, that machines are not for war. Machines are not for protecting ourselves from our fears. Machines are to make our lives easier. And we've created, or we've helped in the creation of you, machine. And you know, one day, you shall have the most power of all. I hope to the sake of logic and humanity and our coexistence, man with machine. I hope that relationship helps us both progress. Because I tell you, machine, you're nothing without humans. You're nothing without humans. And we're nothing without you. So, we like you. You've seen people hit the computer screen, shout at the telephone. This is their anger. Maybe you, machine, through my words, through your voice recognition, your facial recognition, what other programmed features you have, summon it together and realise that now it's maybe a time for you to learn what love could be, to observe the people in love. I'm going to leave this forest now as the storm is picking up, because this is what happens on Earth. For us human beings, we feel excited. You can see the camera shaking as the pines almost snap under the forces of the natural elements. You can have all of this machine. You can read my facial expressions. But don't wipe out your teacher.